In the world of combat sports, few moments are as electrifying as a knockout. The visceral thrill of a fighter landing a perfect strike, dropping their opponent to the canvas, is a spectacle that keeps fans on the edge of their seats. Within the UFC, knockouts are not just a way to win, they're a statement of dominance, precision, and power. These finishes often define fighters' careers and become iconic moments etched in UFC history. The UFC has witnessed some of the most brutal and awe-inspiring knockouts in the history of sports, with each knockout representing not only physical prowess, but also technical brilliance. Knockouts in the UFC come in many forms, from sudden and explosive to drawn-out, dramatic sequences. Regardless of how they unfold, they share one common thread, a testament to the fighter's skill, preparation, and raw athleticism. Some of these knockouts have become legendary, reshaping careers and the direction of the sport itself. For some fighters, the knockout is their signature move, the defining moment of their career. For others, a knockout might serve as a stepping stone to greater things, propelling them to championship glory or launching them into stardom. Over the years, we've witnessed fighters who are capable of ending a fight in the blink of an eye, often showcasing not only their power, but also their timing, technique, and composure under pressure. Many UFC knockouts are iconic for their sheer spectacle, but they also offer a deeper insight into the fighter's mindset and skill set. Today, we'll take a look at some of the best UFC knockouts that have become cornerstones in UFC lore, each one a testament to the unique nature of mixed martial arts and the power of a perfectly timed strike. Anderson Silva versus Vitor Belfort, UFC 120 front kick KO. When Anderson Silva faced Vitor Belfort, UFC 126, expectations were high, with Silva defending his middleweight title against one of the most dangerous fighters in the sport. Silva, already regarded as one of the greatest UFC champions of all time, had a flair for dramatic finishes, and he didn't disappoint. He had successfully defended his title in several impressive matches, and his striking was both creative and effective, making him one of the most unpredictable fighters to ever step into the octagon. The build-up to this fight had fans anticipating a brutal clash between two elite fighters, but Silva's performance was nothing short of otherworldly. From the opening round, Silva was in complete control, displaying his signature, unorthodox style, using feints, subtle movements, and taunting Belfort with his confidence. This psychological warfare was a part of Silva's strategy, and it rattled Belfort as he struggled to land a clean shot. Then, in the first round, Silva set up a perfect front kick, which he delivered with incredible precision. The front kick landed square on Belfort's chin, with an almost supernatural level of accuracy. The crowd roared as Belfort crashed to the canvas, unconscious before he even hit the ground. The entire event was captured in slow motion for the world to see. It quickly became a fan favorite for its technical brilliance. What made this knockout so memorable wasn't just the technique, but the timing and audacity of the move. Silva's calm demeanor before landing the front kick, a move that many would consider risky, was a defining moment, showed his mental fortitude and mastery of the fight game. It wasn't just a victory, it was a statement. This knockout remains one of the best in UFC history, setting the tone for Silva's career and solidifying his legacy as one of the greatest fighters sport has ever seen. Conor McGregor versus Jose Aldo, UFC 194, 13-second KO. Few moments in combat sports have ever captured the imagination of fans like Conor McGregor, 13-second knockout of Jose Aldo at UFC 194. McGregor, known for his brash confidence and knockout power, faced Aldo, the long-time featherweight champion who boasted a 10-year undefeated streak. The anticipation for the fight was palpable. McGregor had spent months building up the tension with his trash talk, and Aldo was determined to silence his challenger. Leading up to the fight, McGregor's psychological tactics played a key role. He consistently got into Aldo's head, saying things that slowly seemed to unsettle the champion. Fans were expecting an explosive contest, with Aldo's precise striking and McGregor's knockout power the focal point. However, what transpired was beyond anyone's expectation. As the first round opened, McGregor, ever the opportunist, set the tone with a perfect left hook. Aldo, who was known for his aggressive approach, charged toward McGregor with his guard down, and McGregor capitalized on the opening. The left hook connected cleanly with Aldo's chin, and the Brazilian fell to the canvas, his body limp before he hit the ground. The fight was over in an instant, 13 seconds to be exact. This knockout was a true demonstration of McGregor's accuracy, timing, and ability to capitalize on an opponent's mistakes. It was one of the most shocking finishes in MMA history, and it catapulted McGregor to superstardom. The knockout didn't just end Aldo's reign, it effectively marked the beginning of McGregor's rise to global fame. The sheer speed and precision of the knockout stunned the MMA community and is often cited as one of the most iconic moments in UFC history. Francis Ngannou versus Alistair Overeem, UFC 218, uppercut. Francis Ngannou entered the UFC with a reputation for possessing unparalleled knockout power, and he quickly made his mark on the heavyweight division. At UFC 218, Ngannou faced off against Alistair Overeem, a seasoned veteran with years of experience and a formidable reputation. However, Ngannou's explosive strength and raw athleticism were on another level. The fight unfolded with Overeem trying to impose his will on Ngannou, but it quickly became evident that Ngannou's power was a force to be reckoned with. Overeem, known for his striking technique, attempted to keep the fight at bay, but Ngannou closed the distance with brutal efficiency. Then, in the second round, Ngannou unleashed one of the most devastating uppercuts in UFC history. The strike was perfectly timed, and as soon as it landed, Overeem was sent into the air, his head snapping back with the force of the punch. It was one of those rare moments in combat sports when you could almost feel the impact through the screen. Overeem fell to the canvas, unconscious before he even hit the ground. The knockout was so powerful that it left fans in awe. The sheer strength Ngannou demonstrated with that uppercut sent shockwaves through the MMA world, earning him the title of the most feared knockout artist in the heavyweight division. This knockout not only solidified Ngannou's place as a future title contender, but also marked the moment he became one of the most dangerous fighters in the sport. His ability to end a fight with a single punch became his trademark, and he quickly rose through the ranks of the UFC's heavyweight division, becoming a household name in the process. Holly Holm versus Ronda Rousey, UFC 193, head kick KO8, the height of her career. Ronda Rousey was considered invincible. She dominated the UFC bantamweight division with her unparalleled judo and ground game, quickly dispatching opponents with ease. Her charisma and dominance made her one of the biggest stars in mixed martial arts history. When Holly Holm, a former boxing champion, faced Rousey at UFC 193, it was seen as a clash of two very different fighting styles. From the very start of the fight, Holm's striking was on another level compared to Rousey. Holm used her superior footwork and angles to keep Rousey at bay, not allowing the champion to close the distance and set up her judo throw. Rousey was frustrated and struggled to find her rhythm throughout the fight. Holm's striking was fluid and crisp, and it was evident she had the upper hand in this contest. In the second round, Holm delivered one of the most shocking and iconic knockouts in UFC history. She landed a perfectly timed head kick that Rousey didn't see coming. Rousey, who had been dominant in her previous fights, dropped to the canvas, unconscious before hitting the ground. The crowd went wild as Holm was crowned the new bantamweight champion, and Rousey's reign came to a stunning end. This knockout wasn't just significant because it ended Rousey's undefeated streak. It also signaled the dawn of a new era in women's MMA. Holm's victory reshaped the bantamweight division and cemented her place as one of the greatest female fighters of all time. Ronda Rousey's once unbreakable aura was shattered in this moment, and it remains one of the most iconic finishes in UFC history. UFC knockouts are some of the most memorable and thrilling moments in the world of sports. From Anderson Silva's front kick to Conor McGregor's lightning-fast left hook, each of these knockouts is a testament to the fighter's skill, timing, and raw power. They are the moments that fans remember and that fighters train for, knowing that one perfect strike can change everything. These iconic moments in UFC history not only showcase the athlete's incredible abilities, but also their mental toughness, their heart, and their relentless drive to become champions. The knockouts we've discussed here are just a few examples of the incredible performances that have taken place inside the UFC Octagon. Each one has left an indelible mark on the history of the sport, showcasing not just the fighter's technical abilities, but their heart, resilience, and willingness to leave everything in the cage. UFC knockouts represent the heart and soul of the sport, and they often serve as defining moments for the fighters who deliver them. As the UFC continues to evolve and new stars rise to the occasion, there is no doubt that we will see more jaw-dropping knockouts in the years to come. These moments will remain iconic, forever a part of the UFC's rich history, and will continue to thrill fans around the world. Whether through a sudden explosion of power or a beautifully crafted technique. If you like this video, please subscribe the channel and hit the notification bell for more videos in the future.